Brazilian independence movement was fairly complicated and had many yet different important aspects to it. Several attempts at gaining independence from the Portuguese rule occurred, but nothing was finalized until September 7, 1822, when Brazilian independence was declared. The first attempts were by two groups called the Minas and the Bahias in 1788 and 1789. Although these two groups of people both wanted independence for Brazil, their motives were very different from one another. The Bahias consisted of people of lower classes such as shopkeepers, slaves, and soldiers, while the Minas were the upper class people. The main motive for the Bahia was to gain more social status and to have a reform of societal beliefs regarding race versus class. These people were typically the Brazilians of mixed or African descent and did not have much power compared to the Minas. The valiant attempts at leading Brazil towards an independence movement by both groups were shut down, and the Portuguese crown did not treat people from their plots with respect. The leaders of these groups were found and slaughtered or sent in 1807, the Portuguese crown fled from Portugal to Brazil because of the invasion of Napoleon and his men. The king, Dom João, did not want to be second in power, so he moved his entire crown to Brazil to attempt at making a new empire. After the control of the French was established, the British came and managed to hold power until 1821, when the crown returned to their original place of power. Dom João was able to revolutionize Brazil, and new establishments were built, as well as a massive growth in population occurred. The Portuguese crown kept power until tension between the Americans and Europe struck. Dom Pedro was one of the most influential people in the finalizing of the Brazilian independence. At this point in time, Dom João was losing power and had many conflicts between Portugal and Brazil hanging over his head. Dom Pedro was asked to return back to Portugal, but he refused. An army from Portugal named the Legion took control in Rio. Their commander was named General Jorge de Aviles. The general and his men sent out to capture Dom Pedro and return him to Portugal. Meanwhile, Pedro attempted at collecting men to form a force to fight against the Legion to help him stay in Brazil. Finally, the Legion surrendered and Dom Pedro focused on creating a successful government for Brazil. He declared independence of Brazil and was widely celebrated throughout and was crowned king.